There is a $400 emergency communications kit on Amazon, branded packaging, tactical case, solar panels, the works, that a former Navy SEAL told me he would not take on a real grid-down operation. Not because it's bad gear. Because there's a $23 item at Walmart that does the one thing that matters most, better, faster, and without a single battery, charger, or cable. The difference is a fundamental misunderstanding of what situational awareness actually requires in the first 72 hours of a grid-down event. In about 4 minutes, I'll give you the exact brand, model, Walmart aisle, and the specific feature that no $400 kit can replicate. A feature most people don't know exists. There's also a specific truck setup technique Ray showed me that I've never seen described anywhere, not in a manual, not in a video, not in any preparedness course. And the thing that stopped me cold, what Ray said about communication in a real grid-down event that almost nobody in the prepper space understands, that's coming. Stay with me. Cell towers run on backup power, typically 4 to 8 hours of battery. After that, towers go dark. Your phone can run apps until the battery dies, but cannot make calls, receive texts, or access any internet source. Your television requires power. Gone. Your internet router requires power. Gone. Your neighbors are in the same situation. They don't know any more than you do. Is this localized or regional? Getting better or worse? Should you shelter or evacuate? Are the roads passable? Is there a chemical threat? No answers. Complete information blackout. Ray said, in the military, we call it the fog of war. In a civilian grid-down event, it's just called Tuesday afternoon. The decisions people make in that fog, the wrong decisions, the panicked ones, are what hurt them. Not the event itself. The $23 item cuts through that fog. Specifically and completely. And the reason it does, and the reason a $400 kit often doesn't, is what this video is about. Ray spent 12 years in naval special warfare. He now runs a civilian preparedness training program in the Pacific Northwest. And he told me something about grid-down communication that I've been thinking about ever since. Most high-end emergency communications kits are built around 3 things: two-way radios for local communication, a solar charging panel, and a multiband AM/FM receiver. The two-way radios work 1 to 3 miles in practical terrain, despite manufacturer claims of 35 miles. For receiving regional emergency information, they are completely useless. Emergency management does not broadcast on those frequencies. The solar panels charge devices, eventually, in direct sunlight. Not in winter storms. Not under heavy cloud cover. A conditional power solution, not a guaranteed one. The AM/FM multiband receiver picks up commercial radio, which fails first in a regional emergency. Commercial stations are staffed by people who evacuate and run on generator power that is finite. Ray said, the prepper market sells emergency kits very good at the wrong thing. Good at local two-way communication. Not good at receiving authoritative regional emergency information. That's what matters most in the first 72 hours. Your neighbor does not know what's happening. The one system broadcasting authoritative emergency information right now, on dedicated infrastructure, designed to survive the event, is NOAA weather radio. The $400 kit doesn't receive it. NOAA Weather Radio All Hazards is a nationwide network broadcasting on 7 dedicated frequencies between 162.400 and 162.550 MHz, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, from more than 1,000 transmitter sites. Those transmitters are federal infrastructure, maintained by the National Weather Service, powered by dedicated backup systems, designed specifically to continue broadcasting during the regional emergencies that knock out commercial infrastructure. NOAA weather radio broadcasts not just weather but natural disaster warnings, chemical hazard alerts, nuclear alerts, national security announcements, amber alerts, and any other hazard the government needs to communicate in a regional emergency. Ray said, NOAA weather radio is the civilian equivalent of our dedicated military communications channels. A dedicated channel designed to survive the environment you're operating in. Most preppers don't know it's anything more than a weather forecast tool. The Midland WR-120B. A dedicated NOAA weather radio alert receiver. $22.97 to $24.97 at Walmart electronics section. Under normal conditions, it does almost nothing, which is exactly the point. Here is the feature no $400 kit can replicate. Ray bought 6 of these, one for his home, workshop, each of his kids' households, his truck, and his go bag. It's called SAME. Specific Area Message Encoding. SAME allows the receiver to filter alerts by specific geographic area. You program your county's SAME code into the WR-120B. From that point, the radio stays completely silent unless an emergency alert is issued specifically for your county. When an alert is issued for your county, not the state, not a neighboring county, the WR-120B sounds an alarm. Automatically. Without you touching it. Without a battery. It wakes you up if you're asleep. Passive monitoring. You are not listening for information. The system listens for you and alerts you when information relevant to your specific location is broadcast. No human attention required. In a grid-down scenario where you're managing food, water, security, and family logistics simultaneously, removing communications monitoring from things requiring active attention is a capability multiplier. Ray said, "Same is why I use Midland over everything else in this category. I don't have to listen for an alert. The radio listens for me. If my county is affected, it wakes me up." That's the right way to build a monitoring system. The WR-120B requires a power outlet. What happens when the outlet stops working? Ray's answer, the Midland ER-310. $34.97 at Walmart. Same aisle. The Go Bag version. The ER-310 receives all 7 NOAA frequencies. Has same county filtering. A hand crank for 15 minutes of playback per minute of cranking. Solar panel. USB output port. 2000 mAh internal battery. LED flashlight. SOS beacon. The combination costs $57.94 for both units, less than 1/7 of a $400 kit. Home base unit plus mobile unit. Both on the same NOAA infrastructure. Both using SAME for county-specific filtering. Ray said, "I have the WR-120B plugged in next to my bed right now. I have the ER-310 in my go bag. Both programmed with my county SAME code. If something happens tonight, one of those 2 units will alert me before I know anything is wrong." Ray keeps his ER-310 mounted in his truck, not in the cup holder, not in the console, but wedged between the driver's seat and center console, angled so the solar panel faces the driver's window. The solar panel facing the driver's window, even on overcast days, passive solar trickle charge maintains the internal battery at near full capacity without any active effort. The unit is always charged. Always ready. A short USB cable runs from the ER-310's output port to a cigarette lighter USB adapter. While the truck runs, the radio charges from the vehicle electrical system. When parked, the solar panel maintains it. The position between seat and console, accessible by feel without looking. Ray can locate it in the dark, in a moving vehicle, without taking his eyes off the road. He practiced this. He knows where it is without thinking. The same code, programmed for his home county and 2 adjacent counties he frequently drives through. If an alert is issued for any of those 3 counties while he's driving, the ER-310 alerts him. He doesn't have to monitor. Ray said, "In the teams, we talk about equipment becoming an extension of your body, something you don't have to think about because it operates automatically. This setup does that for communications. Position it once. It maintains itself." I asked Ray, "What's the thing most civilians get most wrong about communications in a grid-down event?" He didn't hesitate. Stylized semi-realistic illustration, editorial finish. Medium shot of Ray at his training facility table, the interviewer's question hanging in the air, Ray already composing his answer. The pause before the most important thing. Warm indoor ambient light. Earthy muted palette, brown, tan, olive. No text, no logos. He said, "They think communication means sending. It doesn't. In the first 72 hours of a grid-down event, the most valuable communication capability you have is receiving. Not transmitting. Receiving. You need to know what's happening. Authoritative information about whether to shelter or evacuate. Chemical hazard, flood warning, civil emergency declaration, curfew. That information determines every other decision you make. Most preppers spend $400 on transmit capability and $0 on the best receive capability available. They have it exactly backwards. Receive first. Transmit second. That sequence determines outcomes. The person who knows what's happening makes better decisions. Better decisions mean better outcomes. Full stop. Ray's final statement, "I've been in communications critical environments where the difference between knowing and not knowing was the difference between life and death. Not hypothetically. Literally. The unit that kept us informed was a dedicated receiver on a dedicated channel. That's what the Midland is. For $23. Script, before closing, the same code. Programming takes 4 minutes. You only do it once. Step 1, go to weather.gov, the official NOAA same code lookup tool. Enter your state and county. Write down the 6-digit code. Step 2, press and hold the same button for 3 seconds. Step 3, use the arrows to enter your 6-digit code. Step 4, enable all alert categories. Step 5, press test. If the alarm sounds, you're programmed correctly. Ray said, "I programmed all 6 of my Midlands in one afternoon. 3 counties total. Took about 25 minutes for all 6 units. I have not touched the programming since. They've been monitoring continuously for 3 years." When Ray showed me his home setup, the WR-120B on the nightstand, running, I noticed something next to it. A small item I wouldn't have connected to the radio at all. I asked him about it. A battery backup unit, the APCB600M1, approximately $49.99 at Walmart. It keeps the WR-120B running for 4 to 8 hours after the grid goes down, the window when same alerts are most critical. The WR-120B draws 3 to 5 watts. The backup has 330 watt-hours. The math, the WR-120B runs for 65 to 110 hours on that backup. 3 to 4 days of continuous same monitoring without touching anything. Ray said, "Grid goes down, backup kicks in, WR-120B keeps monitoring. I don't have to switch anything, move anything, or think about it. It just keeps working." $73 total. 3 to 4 days of automatic county-specific emergency monitoring. The home unit, Midland WR-120B, $22.97 at Walmart Electronics. Pair with APCB600M1 battery backup, $49.99. Total, $73. Automatic county-specific monitoring for 3 to 4 days post-grid failure. The Go Bag Unit, Midland ER310, $34.97. Hand Crank, Solar Panel, 2000 mAh battery, USB phone charging, SOS beacon, LED flashlight. Same code. Same aisle. The truck setup, ER310 between seat and console, solar panel facing driver's window, USB to cigarette lighter. Always charged. Always monitoring. Always accessible by feel. The principle, receive first. Transmit second. The first 72 hours of a grid-down event are an information problem before they are anything else. The Midland system is the solution. At $23 for the basic unit, it's the highest ROI communications investment in the prepper market. Ray's last words: the thing that scares me about the civilian preparedness community isn't that they don't care. It's that they're spending money on the wrong problem. The solution to the most dangerous problem in a grid-down event costs $23 and sits in the Walmart electronics section. Most people walk right past it. In my next video, Ray walks through the 3 communications layers he maintains: the NOAA base layer, the secondary layer covering 50 miles without cell service, and the tertiary layer that costs $35 and requires a license that takes 1 afternoon to get. The third layer works when everything else is down, including the grid. Most preppers have never heard of it. That one drops next week. Stay informed. Stay ready.